Alrighty, Friday night gravel ride. We are go on this. We have the Grail. Let me see. Are we equipped in the dark? Oh, there's some nice flowers there. We are good. We're on the gravel bike. Laps of the jungle circuit tonight. I've got a workout to do, second workout for the day. A little bit more testing. I'm back on the KickrBIKE and the Asioma Duo pedals. So some erg mode stuff. I'll see how we go. Might not get through them all, but we will try. Hope everyone is well. Friday evening here. It's been a good week, busy week. Nice weather, finally returning to Victoria. Tomorrow is meant to be, I think, 16 degrees Celsius, which is going to be out of this world. It really will be. I'll be out on the road tomorrow morning. Keen to get out on the road. So tonight, what I'm up to, I've done and I'll do another video the video is done. I just have to do the voiceover and get it all published. I've done the gravel bike upgrade to the KickrBIKE. If you've seen the Stages bike, it has those splayed out bars, which are cool for sprinting. So if you're out here sprinting, you're not going to whack your wrists or your forearms if you're over top of the bike. So I finally got around to putting a set of those kind of bars on the KickrBIKE and better bar tape and made it a bit more custom. I love it. It's cool. And you can't see it. It's up on my Instagram. I've shrink wrapped the cables on the front. Actually, I'll give you a preview. Just give me a moment. I'll get warmed up and we'll switch over to my phone. I think it's up on Instagram. No, not on the Bowflex, I'm sorry. No. That's hilarious. Almost about to hit 129,000 subscribers on YouTube too. It's going really well at the moment. Really happy that the content that I've produced in the past is doing so well. It's still relevant for people to watch, view, and subscribe. And the new content is doing pretty well. Yeah, things are good, considering where everything is at with the current world. But, it's all good. I'm looking at my stream here. It's not going too well over on... I'm just going to pause that one over on Restream monitor mode. Hopefully the stream is okay. What mic am I using? To mit stick? What? Samsung Go. A small Samsung Go mic. Background tunes. I was tinkering with the tunes. You know why? I was tinkering with the tunes and turned them off. Ready? DJ LAMA's in the house. Yeah. It's all coming in from Bass Rebels off YouTube. It's a good little resource there to use non-copyrighted music, which just adds a bit of beat to the background. Thank you for picking up on that, Veronica Michich. And now my music's buffering. What's going on? It's prime Netflix and chill time here in Ballarat. 8 o'clock on a Friday night. Come on, there we go. Experiencing interruptions? Find out why. Little pop-up over there on YouTube. It's still buffering. Come on now. Zumo or Kicker Core? The Core is a couple of levels above the Zumo. So depending on your budget. NBN's what's happening. Usually it's pretty damn good. My stream up to Sydney's looking good. 0 drop frame, 0 drop anything. Don't know. Anyhow, regarding the bike updates that I've done, which I'm scheduled to do a video on. Oh, I love these levers. KickrBIKE levers, hands down. They're just like Di2. They are exactly like, and I've been out riding my Di2 stuff. So it's the same. Same. New bars, sprint night. Oh, Vaughn, no. We're doing erg. Steady state erg. Vaughn, you know the drill. Vaughn knows exactly what I'm up to testing tonight. Come on, tunes. My DJ's pipped too many pills. He's falling over and buffering. Come on. Okay. This is a post-dinner erg session too. It's going to be a struggle. Like those background tunes. They're a bit of a struggle. Full screen, let's pull this up and have a look at what we've got. over on my Insta and pull that up on the other screen whilst I spin this out. Welcome along, Twitch. We have one viewer on Twitch at the moment. Here we go. So KickrBIKE, you can't tell that the bars splay out there at all. Oh, if the music keeps cutting in and out, I'm just going to start humming nursery rhymes. Let me know if it gets annoying. So that's the top of the bike there. That's what it looks like with the bar tape on there. Pretty boring. I've used... Oh, come on. Okay. I'll get back to the tunes in a moment. Look, I'd love to put some commercial music on. But, yeah, we kind of can't do that without paying $1 million and jumping through a million hoops. Not the kind of resources we have. You can see there, that's shrink wrapped as best I could. It's better than it was, better than those two big cables just dangling around. The KickrBIKE looks pretty industrial. It's all quite neat, but it has those two cables and they need to be hanging out so the adjustability still works. I looked at rerouting those internally, not enough cable. By default, it'll need more of a hack. And then from the side there, you still can't see the bars splaying out much. They do, there's a few degrees there when I grab them down here. All will be covered in my video coming up soon. How to solve hot foot. I've never suffered from hot foot. So I don't have any first foot experience on that. I was going to say first hand, but I'll throw in a dad joke. No. Don't know. Podiatrist, maybe a sports focused podiatrist. Yeah, I'd say shoes or insoles or things like that, but I've got no idea. Anyhow, that's what I'm riding tonight. A couple of updates in the bike. I've got a fast forward way of all the things I've done. The levers come off just like Di2. And, most of all, the boss gave it the approval. Von, you like the bars? Von rides this bike quite a lot too. Okay, power-wise. Oh, we're looking good power-wise. Luke Smith, welcome along. Nuno from the Netherlands, welcome. Good to have the chat along for tonight. Always need the company when I'm putting in some erg sessions. There we go. What about not 10 minutes yet? Nope. Just gonna hit reload on this screen here. The internet's good. Like, I'm getting really good internet up to Sydney. The YouTube source that I'm pulling the music in for is... That might work. We'll see. There we go. Happy days. Happy days. Any idea what Zwift will recreate next? Where Zwift will recreate next? Sorry, I'll pull up the other chat screen so I can read the questions better. I think they were going to do the Tokyo Olympics. It's a little unfortunate. I think they were going to do the Worlds. Again, that's been pulled. That's a little unfortunate. No idea. Don't know. I'd love to see Zwift pull out some gravel courses. Just a bit of free ride off the main routes that we can interlink things with. I think people are after the adventure. Sure, there's the bunch rides, and there's the grip rides, and there's the things, but sometimes people just want to get off-road. So, hopefully we'll see some of that. I'm on a Windows machine for this one. Windows 10 RTX 2060 graphics card. Oh, the footy's on. Where are they playing? It's definitely not Victoria. Alright. Nearing up to 10 minutes. I'll get this other fan happening. We'll get a zero offset done on these pedals. And then you'll watch me hate life just for a bit as I get some erg mode work done. I'm going to try and replicate the session that I've already done today so I can compare both sessions. Because more data is better. Gold Coast for today's game. Oh, it'd be nice and warm up there. So I hope everyone is well in Melbourne. Melbourne's still in lockdown, I think another 2 weeks minimum. Oh. Dave, I've got... To be honest, I don't know. They were the cheapest gravel bars that I could find over on BikeBug. Control CLS. I think, yeah, that's what it says on the bars. Now, for technology, I know the ins and outs and all the details and the version numbers and everything for a set of alloy bars. Next, cheap, next. Yeah, about the same width, go. That's about it. I'll put links in the video. Weight wasn't a concern indoors. But they're nice. The original bars that come with are sufficient. The bar tape's a bit terrible. It works. So my personal preference is for grippy tape. Ever since lizard skins came along, anybody use lizard skins? That changed my life. Super sticky stuff. But it does wear out a bit. And then along came after lizard skins, there was a few other types of really sticky, grippy bar tape. Best bike split for Zwift. Yeah, Stefan, I've done best bike split for the time trial in the Giro. So that 8-kilometer course that goes up like that. It was a perfect chance to show best bike split and how to use your numbers for optimal pacing. Super cool stuff. And using the exact same power, although I think it was the exact same average power, but using two different pacing strategies. I think it was 30 seconds or 31 seconds faster using an optimal pacing strategy. Same energy used. Phenomenal. I think I use that word a lot in that video too. Supercaz, that's the one, Supercaz. Yeah. Lizard skins. Andrew, when I was over in Perth a few years back, I had lizard skins on the bike and I found a flat lizard on the road. It was a blue tongue or something that had been, it was pretty much leather. It had been out in the sun over in Perth for a while, so I put the lizard on my bar tape and took a photo of it. Got about a 50-50 response to that. Technically it was lizard skins. Par for the course in Australia. It's a dead things. Okay, 12 minutes in. Daniel from Boston, how are we doing? Am I okay? The Stages Bike SB20, that's next to me. That was the first session today. Next session, KickrBIKE, everything else the same. And we'll do some head-to-head. Yeah, Supercats can be a bit expensive. Dave, why gravel bars? No real reason, other than I'm in lockdown and I've got to do something. So I'm on the internet buying things. And I do like how the SB20 has splayed out bars at the bottom. So rather than sprinting like this, and the bars, if you're over the bike like that, really far forward, you can't swing an indoor bike. So it doesn't. So Stages nailed it with having gravel bars for indoor sprints and just being comfortable indoors. It's not about being aero indoors, it's about being comfortable. So it was a good idea. So I just switched them up. They were like $59, super cheap. And it gave me an excuse, again like the Di2 project, to spend some time away from the keyboard, away from the screens, tinkering with my bike. So yeah. Stage 3 in Ballarat, we can go pretty far. Yeah, solo. We can still go out and ride solo. Us and the Magpies, they're swooping again. My Magpie swooping video from 2 years ago is slowly on the rise with the hits and the views as people search for Magpie content. Just bizarre. If you're not aware of magpies, in Australia we have these birds, black and white birds, about the size of, what's a magpie the size of? I'd say the size of a footy, but even then it's an Australian reference. What are they, about yay by yay? How big's a magpie? About a drink bottle. Very territorial. And out of nowhere, they come flying behind you, swoop down, and the good ones smack you on the head. And I tell you what, if you've never had a fright on the bike, fruitcake from Friday, that is... when they swoop, they're the size of a pterodactyl, yes. They do peck your head, yes. I don't think they mean to. I think so. Magpies come and swoop as a warning, as in get away. Like, let's say, for example, here, there's a magpie in the tree, a virtual magpie. It'll be between probably 200 meters each side, maybe 300 meters each side, depends on the line of sight. Super territorial. They will swoop down, and give a snapping peck with their beak, like snap, so you'll hear a crack near your ear. I don't think they're designed or evolved to actually hit something, because a bird and wings, they're quite really not that strong. Sometimes they come in and they actually do hit you. Funnily enough, up in Sydney, in the city, or just south of the city near the airport. This was a couple of years back. So I'll get to my erg mode. I'm just delaying with some stories. And people always say to people in Australia, where do you guys live? All these animals are trying to attack you. Everything's trying to kill you. Snakes and spiders. And I did tell that story of when young Maxwell was probably a few weeks old. He was in bed next to us, sort of sleeping, and I felt something brush up against me. I instinctively grabbed and threw. It was a spider. So we do have those moments like, yeah, actually, it kind of is like the tourists say it is. Back to Sydney. Riding along thinking, oh, it's magpie season. Yeah, they don't really hurt. Whack in the back of the head, blood. So yeah, when you have birds out of the sky drawing blood, it's interesting. It's interesting. I haven't tested the pacer bots yet. I've seen what they're all about. The pacer bots in Zwift are there to ride with, and they hold a set wattage, no variability at all, just a set wattage. Boom. I think they talk some smack in the channel too, in the chat, which is going to be funny to have a look at. Looks to be a bug with the pacer bots. If you were to do an event, if you were to join a pacer bot, this is from what I can scan in the forums. If you join a pacer bot as your warm up, go join an event. When the event finishes, something weird happens. So watch for that. But yeah. You're an ex-motorcycle postie, Magpie story, mate. Posties get hammered by them. Not all the chat appears on the screen. Do I see all the feeds on the screen? Yeah, Restream should aggregate all the chat from all of the... I can see Twitch and YouTube chat on the screen. Apologies if I miss your question. If I do, just hit me up again. That's all good. A seagull. Seagulls aren't likely to hit you on the head unless they're after some chips. Legs are feeling good. We'll get stuck into this erg very shortly. I'll just delay a little bit more. When can we expect the video on the Suji or the Sugii or the Chinese-based spider power meter? Same answer as the last 6 months. It's close. It's really close. I'm giving them the opportunity to make everything perfect. Accuracy-wise on the Suji, it's spot on. Absolutely bang on. The Asiomas and the... What have I tested against? The Kicker 5, Neo 2T. Numbers-wise, looks great. There's a few issues with the Sprint a couple of weeks back. They've sorted those. There's a few issues with intermittent dropouts. They've fixed those. They've introduced something else this week, though. Soon is the answer. I really want those power meters to do well. They should shake up the market. We've seen Quark drop the price on the D0 Spider. Was it down to $5.99 to $3.99, I think? Limited options there for bottom bracket type, though. And that is the problem with spiders. You need the bottom bracket or the modular crank. The Rotor Aldhu, A-L-D-H-U, I think it's short for Alpe d'Huez, which is, it's an alloy crank. It's not the lightest, but it works really well. I think it looks absolutely brilliant with the Shimano rings. Front changes with Shimano rings, spectacular. Spectacular. The Hunt 4050 wheels, yep. I'll do a follow-up. When we can get outside of them more, I'm going to do a follow-up on the wheels and the GP 5000 clinches with tubeless. I'm not running tubeless, I'm running latex tubes. They've been going great. Stages bike part 3, no. Still some background work going on that. Which this technically is a part of. So doing some comparisons with the same session on this bike. Steven Seaglass. Oh, I like it. I like it. What's a magpie? Are they? No, they're not ravens. What are they? I can't think now. If you just Google search or YouTube search Gplama magpie swoop, in the first few seconds, you'll see them hit the back. Like, I've got some shot. I uploaded some shots to Shutterstock, and I've earned all of $44 of media downloading the shots. They're just brilliant shots. Getting a left on your power meter stages crank, is it worth it or better to keep saving and go straight to dual-sided? Single-sided Shimano cranks appear to be great. All test within 1% of everything else. So single-sided, 4 eyes. What have I had? 4 eyes, XKD. I think I've had the Ridge. 7, 8 or 9 different types. All pretty good on the left. It's the right side that I have issues with my testing and my protocol. I'd steer clear of the rights, the left-right. That's me. Waiting to see what Shimano do with the next iteration of Durace. I'm really hoping Shimano, I love Shimano stuff, I really hope they build a power meter and then make it a crank. What they've got now is a crank that they've slapped some strain gauges on and called it a power meter. Didn't turn out too well for them. Stages 3 gen, single-sided versus Asioma single-sided, one and the same. It's up to your choice what you've got to go with compatibility-wise, cleats, and all that. Ricky, thanks for the kind words. I appreciate the feedback. There's no shortage of interesting feedback on the internet on a daily basis, so it's good to hear that the content that's up there is helping people have a better time or a better experience with what I cover. That's awesome. Thank you. There we go, Lee. We've got some 37 to 43 centimeters in length. Yep. What it feels like is when a Magpie swoops you and hits you, it feels like someone's throwing something at you from a car but it's like a warm hug that scratches. If you're not ready for it, oh, they are nasty. All right, let's get this erg stuff doing. Chat, keep going. I love the chat. Thank you. You make my time fly on here. Happy to answer questions, Q&A, you name it. But I have some testing to do here. Free tool, I could open source and free host it. 53 Phil, yeah, look, if you can spin up a power meter comparison site that's free, that does everything that people want to use as a tool, go for it, mate, absolutely. There's a few of them out there now. My favourite's obviously the DC Rainmaker one. I just know how to use, I know my header, I can put 2 files in there, scan it super fast, know exactly what's going on. So I'm just pulling up here to zero the Asiomas. Alright. But if you've got a good one, make it pretty, do something unique, it'll do well. Back pedaling, 12 o'clock. Okay, now power meter cal, which is technically a 0 offset. Garmin need to just call that 0. That'd be nice. Calibration successful. There we go. Easy as that. Now I don't need to calibrate the bike. That's over Bluetooth to Zwift tonight. Fans are good. Let's have a drink. Watch me delay doing ergos. I'm good at delaying. SPD pedals on a smart bike. Yes, T-bags. I've used the Favero hack that was found out by, was it Mad Maximilian? I think it was over on the Trainer Road forums. Found out a way to hack Xpedo SPD pedal bodies onto Favero Asioma road pedals. The hack works beautifully. That video was up on December 9th last year, or December 7th. It was between the time I came back from hanging out with Ray in Europe and then going back to the US, and then last year, thankfully we could still travel. Yeah. You watched the Asioma SPD video 10 minutes ago. Awesome, cool. I love the fact that the videos that I do like that are evergreen. People can watch them a year later and it's still relevant. The vlog style stuff, whilst that's heaps of fun, sharing what we're up to and things, especially in Australia while people are in winter or in summer, just the opposites. The resource stuff, I do like seeing that do well. Buninyong Hill, it depends. If you jump on Strava, you can have a look at that. From Buninyong out to where the Magpie swoops, everybody knows the Magpie in the corner, probably an average of around 4 or 5, but it changes a bit, then flattens, kicks up over the KOM section, just before the KOM section. I think it goes up to around 9 or 10 for a few hundred meters. It's never the same. Zwift equivalent of the Australian Nationals course. No. but the length of the climb wouldn't be too different to reverse Watopia Hilly that starts at Hinks. I think it's about a 3-minute climb. I don't think there's anything. Volcano's still a little bit longer. Hey Daniel, thanks for subscribing. Much appreciated. We are almost at 129,000 subs. Almost there. It's only about 20 or 30 off. So if you're viewing and you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. Hopefully the content I put up is interesting and relevant. If you get the notifications all the time, you can turn those off. But the subscriber numbers are what keeps things ticking over here, so I do appreciate that. And on top of that, memberships. We have memberships on the channel, which people can contribute towards. Pretty much goes for me developing the content, buying other stuff to test and to break, and that all goes back into the channel. So I do appreciate channel members. If you see somebody in the chat with a little llama next to their name, that's what that's all about. Steve Sale, welcome along. Thank you for subscribing. Do I do the erg? Do I do the erg? Let's get it done. Over the bridge. Or do we just enjoy the views? Oh, some bungee cords. There's the next esport. Z Bungee. Off, there goes the kicker. Up the hill. I have the tilt on the bike. It's going to be off when I do erg in a sec. No word on the steering for smart bikes. No. There are 2 buttons fresh and ready to go for that, which should work well, I hope. 2 internal. It's almost like the campy buttons. They're on the inside. Haha, GoPro. The best GoPro, always the latest. GoPro Hero 8 Black. Phenomenal. No Osmo action, wouldn't bother. I have the Osmo Pocket, wouldn't bother. GoPro 8, just point, click, shoot. Stabilization 4K. If the GoPro 9 is announced in September, October, I will put the money down straight away, hands down, without even seeing it. I'm a massive GoPro fan. Due to the simplicity, they just work. Most of the time. Checking latency with the right on, you'll have to watch for your name. There you go. Because I've deleted the resource that puts the thing falling down. 4i left side power meter worth getting into for the first time? Yeah, sure. Yeah, if you can get one for a good price. Let's get this erg done. Okay, the actual session's 255, 270, 300, 300, 300. I'm not sure I'll do the 300s. It's late. Let's get it done. It's funny, I needed somewhere to put the Garmin on the KickrBIKE. So I went and found I've got a K-Edge Garmin mount with a GoPro mount on the front of the KickrBIKE. It looks absolutely stupid on an indoor bike, but when I look down, it looks like a bike. Looks like my outdoor bike. Alrighty. 5 minutes of this, or until I give up. Numbers looking good. Always a good sign. Upgrade for the KickrBIKE. I don't think anytime soon, John. I think the KickrBIKE is doing very, very well for them. Supply is a problem. 18 months, maybe? I wouldn't hold out waiting for an upgrade, though. KickrBIKE erg, low cadence. Haven't tested. Follow up on the Dorado XR. Nothing as such. That one pretty much ticked all the boxes. Was there anything in particular on the XR you wanted me to have a look at? Oflex Velocore? Nah. Not gonna happen. There's 2 different worlds with indoor bikes. There's the roadie professional cyclist side of things, and then there's the indoor spin side of things. And that's the indoor spin world He's a hell of a lot bigger than the pro stuff that we do. A hell of a lot bigger. I'm not into that stuff. I respect their business model though. They make a lot of cash, what they do. Jerry, look mate, I'm using erg. I hope you're proud. Jerry's a big fan of erg. I'm not. Not at 8:30 of an evening. Tour de France tip, Corona. Coronavirus for the win. We'll take all the jerseys. Corona will take yellow, green, polka dot, and the sprinters. Sorry, what was the other one? Yellow, green. Best young rider. Given Corona's only, around 12 months old. I think it'll do pretty well on GC. Someone said about Caleb Ewan not going for green. He's going for stage wins, and I think that's a pretty bad decision. Caleb not aiming for green. I think it's a perfect decision, because if the tour gets called off, there is no green. But if you win stage 1, 2, 3, which are likely to happen, you get another tour stage win. I want to see it happen. I want to see there be a result, but it's not the Tour de France as we know it. We'll see how it goes. I'm a huge fan. During the tours, 2003 is what got me onto a decent race bike. Got me pumped to see what I could do on a bike. But will it have that kind of influence on up and coming riders this year with how it's all run? I don't know. Pseudo, yeah. A lot of people are happy with their pseudo trainers. Good mid-range out of the box. Comes with the cassette. Ready? Smooth as silk on the in erg mode, this thing. It's good. Cos, welcome along. Threshold. This is probably over my threshold now, mate. Cos, you'd know very well that I can talk, probably even during a maximal sprint. Always happy to have a yarn in the bunch. Actually, I was having a yarn in the bunch that I met you, Cos. That would have been 2009 at Newham. It's Cos and Simon. And someone was doing really weird attacks in one of the races we were on. Lancefield Loop. This guy would attack like nothing else. He was in a giant kit. And it was just crazy attacks. And he'd always get pulled back. And it was, well, Northern Combine, it was a bit of all racing for yourself. Not a lot of teams or anything at that point in time. And then I think we're all having a bit of a laugh at this guy attacking, just kamikaze attacks, and brought back and attacked. And we're like, okay, let's come up with a plan. What are we going to do? I think Cos, not sure how it unfolded, but I can tell you the last 12 Ks, because I think Simon and you agreed to block the front or not chase as I went. And that was through, was it through Newham, I think, through the corner there, through the rolling, onto the climb, bit of a long drag climb, and then super fast back into Lancefield. And I cleared out and got the win for that. And then I think that was the start of Cosdown, the nice little cycling team we had going for many years. I still remember that race, mate. Any race out at Lancefield is always pretty hard. Three years tempo for Cos, yep. What are the 5 workouts that I do, Steve? Steve, look, back in the day, probably when I was racing with Cos quite a lot, one of my go-to workouts was just simply 5x5. 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off. You get 20 minutes quality workout, or 25 if you don't quit on the last one. You'll see some of mine are 5 and -1. That's where I've dumped it in the last interval and not done it. They just worked for me. The short time trials that I was doing or targeting at the time were always around 20k, 25k. So that session just, yeah, really got me primed. So they're just a bit of a play on that. They start off a little easier. So back in the day it would have been 360, 380, 370, and then dying with 350 and 350 for the last 5. Yeah, I'm a different kind of rider now, but still work. And these do seem to work for me. The LAMA lab tests now are a breeze. Sitting at 200, 250, into a sprint. The overs and unders, no probs. When I wasn't doing this additional training, which I'd call this my own personal training, and I was just testing things, I was only fit enough to do what I was doing. And that sucked because my fitness actually drops to that level. Not a lot of endurance, and just hating life. Anything harder than that. This stuff, go out and this is good for a 90-minute ride. As I said, it's only 25 minutes of work, and it's not too hard. If I don't even know what my FTP is, that's just a random number. I like 300. I like seeing the number 300 or above. But that's what they're about. I think on Trainer Road they're called. Oh, there's a name. They have a 5x5 on Trainer Road. They call it something. My strategy to build. I was always evergreen, which didn't go in my favor a lot, but it was enough to get what I needed to do done. I try to build in a down phase, a big down phase. I hated life in the down phase. There was a little session similar to this 5x5 that I think does a... It's over on zwiftcoach.com. I can't recall what it's called, but it's a session that just makes you super sharp. I think it's something like 4 minutes at... I think it's a variation of 5x5. It might be 4s or 3s. But it was threshold or just above, and then all out, and then rest, and then all out into the threshold. It just sharpened you up right at the end. Again, that worked for me. And in doing that session, 1 year, I couldn't hang with Matt Clark over Tamanic Gap. Tamanic? I think it's Tamanic, up in Wangaratta. So Matt Clark was riding for John West at the time, I think. Super climber, super fast. And 1 year I watched him ride off because I just didn't have that 1 minute of additional power at the end of a 4 minute. No, don't spam anything. If you spam stuff, you're blocked, mate. Just as simple as that. Don't start. But the next year, where I looked at what I needed to do to hang with Matt Clark on the climb. Okay, mate, you're gone. League of Maths, you're an embarrassment to yourself. Give me a sec, guys. Enjoy the tunes. I sit here and block users. Why the hell do we have to do this? I've actually got a really good channel for chat. Rarely do I have to do this. And usually they come in on Twitch. But mate, you're gone from Restream. So you're not going to be seen there ever again. But while I scramble here, you can go hard. But your trolling was pretty lame. Wasn't even at 1 watt per kilo. Not close. What's your trolling FTP? Is that all you got? Right. Well, you're gone, mate. League of Maths, welcome along. Thanks for viewing. I'll still get your revenue for your views, but everything you post from here, it's like screaming into a pillow. No one's going to hear you. You're going to be crying by yourself. But thanks for coming. Mouse for that one. Abby, how you doing? Good to see you. How was my left-right balance during that? I hope it was good. League of Maths subtracted. Ah, yeah. Kingsbury and Mansfield. There we go. Whew. This is almost too easy. Second session for the day is always, if you're ready for it, can feel a little easier. Hi, mods. I enjoy modding myself. I can make fun of trolls for a little bit. It's free wattage. I had at least 60 seconds where I wasn't focused on pedaling. Just ban hammering. Kick a bike tonight. Now, differences between the Wahoo and Stages bike and erg. There's not much to it. Both have a bit of a flywheel feel to them. Both jump around a bit in the wattage, as you can see on screen here. Just getting into cycling, any tips on the training program? Just ride lots. Enjoy it. Don't worry, in the first year or two, don't worry too much about chasing numbers, or you'll get massive improvements. But a lot of the time, if you start off early, you do an FTP test, and then you do one a week later, you'll do it better because you've learnt better pacing strategies for the FTP test. So just ride, yeah. Find out what you enjoy. Some people enjoy sprints, hills, time trials, solo rides. There's no one size fits all. Up to your FTP by pacing better. That's why the big long 20-minute block session, I'm not a fan of that one. Step tests, sure. If you can get the mental game right for a step test. For the 20-minute one, very difficult to pace a 20-minute session. If you've never gone that hard for that long, you don't know where to start. Flight computer, Rome or Garmin 830? There's no right answer. Whoosh, we got that one done. See, ramp tests are good because you failing a ramp test is what they're designed to do. You're meant to fail them. Whereas if you crack on a 20-minute, you crack at 15 minutes, it's not going to give you a good indication. FTP is definitely not the be-all and end-all either. It's definitely not a measurement of, the race results that you'll get in any way. Or maybe a little bit, but knocking sound and vibration for the Stages flywheel. Early on, the first 2 or 3 rides had a slight silent knocking. Since then, a few hundred kilometers later, nothing. I'm just looking at it next to me now. It's silent. If it continued to knock, it'd be something that I couldn't live with. Not even on a stream, it'd be like dunk, 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 dunk. I've seen people with that issue online. There's a few fixes about taking the side panel off. I think Stages have been pretty good on addressing that one for everyone. "64-bit Windows device failed. Now you have to use your Google Pixel for Zwift." Oh. Any advice on how to get the display into a 4K monitor. You're not going to be able to upscale a Pixel, I wouldn't think, an Android mobile to a 4K screen. I don't think your Pixel's going to have enough grunts to drive something in 4K. Fix your Windows machine. That's probably the best option. Or Apple TV. Depends what you're after. Favorite mountain in the entirety of Zwift? Oh. Yeah, USB-C to HDMI would still work, but I don't think you'll get 4K. I'd be impressed if you did. Favorite mountain on Zwift? No. They all suck. Favorite mountain in real life is a little better. Something like Mount Buffalo, just for a cruise. Mount Hotham in Australia for something that takes a while. Not really a fan of Falls Creek. Sort of broken up into segments, Falls Creek. Bor, yeah. Bor in the car, sure. Bor on a bike. No. Horrible memories of racing that. In Zwift, my ticker cuts in and out. Trainer road, no dropouts, using Amp Plus for both. Battery at 100%. Any ideas what it would be? Willie, I'll go out on a limb with that and say it's possibly system resources. Trainer road won't draw 100% CPU or won't be drawing 100% GPU. Zwift, on the other hand, will take all the GPU resources you can throw at it. So I'm guessing what might be happening there is if your system's maxing out CPU, maybe heat, then the USB subsystem possibly cutting it. Again, it's out on a limb. Something to check though. So if I look at my task manager now, just for this session here, performance, my GPU utilization, well, I do have VSync on, so it's clipped at 60 frames. But even for this, which is an i7 9700 at 3 gig with an RTX 2060, it's still using 71% of the GPU. CPU, GPU 0 is actually at 100%. I lie, I was looking at CPU, not GPU. Yeah, GPU is 100%. It's using all of it. But as part of that, I'm also using RTX voice for this voice filter. So I'm guessing that's what's different between Trainer Road and Zwift. If everything else remains the same and you're having dropouts with just Zwift. Look through your system logs. If still a hard one to diagnose. If you've got like a USB mouse or keyboard, you won't notice small intermittent dropouts of those because they're only action on press or action on move. I am streaming with the RTX. It's doing the encoding. Yeah, so the RTX is doing the rendering of the game, the encoding, RTX voice. That's why I got a system that was well over spec. Shadow detail, yeah, you can tune the graphical settings with the prefs file. I've left it all vanilla. Alrighty. League of Maths is literally some kid. That's pretty obvious. How many Ks? Not sure how many Ks we're going to get to. It'll be just over the hour. Zwift needs to be rebuilt in an established engine. I'd say it needs to be rebuilt not for the graphical side of things, but for the event, the timing, and the multiplayer side of things. Zwift 2, no idea. CV Arcade, 0 updates or movement at that station for 6 to 8 weeks now. I'm not sure what's happening there. Rowan, yes. Yes. Look for alternatives. if you're riding Zwift a lot, if you search Gplama and Atom and spend some time going through my details there, you'll see what I mean by that. Is FTP the most important indicator of fitness? Nope. Depends what fitness you're after. A sprinter, going to be different to a climber, different to a time trialer. Why would a kicker snap make you 25 watts a kilo? You're saying the resistance spikes? If that's the case, possible optical sensor interference or signal interference. If you're on ANT, try Bluetooth. If you're on Bluetooth, try ANT. Do you use the trainer in sunlight? Here's the next left field question. Woo, come on. What kit am I in? Oh, I won. I got the lap jersey kit. Didn't even realize. Sunlight, there you go. I won't say that's the answer. That's a very good one to get rid of. Where's this finish line? There we go. Whew. Hagee moving on from Mitchell and Scott, good move. Seems to be a bit of a random happenings of events at Mitchell and Scott, signing the team over to another sponsor, and they're not. I think Jerry came out pretty unscathed on that, given that he would have had to be involved in some way to handing the team over to the Spanish mob. And then when everyone was questioning what the hell, and they dived into that company and went, oh, that's no good, he came in with his cape on and saved the day. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but we do have to realise that he was involved somehow in the initial handball of the team. But he's, I think, committed to the next 2 years, and I think that team wouldn't exist without him. That's on the Mitchell and Scott side of things. Jack Haig, whoever signs Hagee, that's a good deal. The kid is a good ambassador for the sport, approachable. He's on Zwift. When he was on Zwift, he was chatting to people, he was interacting. It's a sponsor's dream. That's what they're about. I mean, you can win a race and be a prick. No one wants to sponsor that. Well, actually, quite a few people want to sponsor that guy. Well, how's Buwani going lately? Is he... Jokes. We love Buwani throwing elbows. But on to Haig. He's a nice guy in the peloton. So, he's a Bendigo boy too. He's a Victorian, as Bill Laurie would say. So we'll see how it goes. Bahrain Merida, which won't be... No, sorry, it was... Who were they? The Bahrain... McLaren. McLaren's pulling out. But it's funny, you see you remember back to PR spin when McLaren came into cycling, and it was a whole our Formula One technology and the synergy between, I guess, what composites and aerodynamics and performance and drive. What happened? What happened? Words, all words. But again, without these sponsors, the sport wouldn't exist. It's an interesting sport that the teams are named after the sponsors, not after like AFL footy here. They're always, you know, it's not the Kmart Magpies or the Hungry Jack's Crows. Even though they are sponsored by them, they're still the club name, and that sticks. Hey, thanks, Chris. G'day. Oh, I can't figure that out. Why doesn't that let me... Brr, 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 brr. Lol. That was cheese encrypted. The Rappilock axles, how funny were they? So the Rappilock, so I saw them, hey Luke McKenzie. The Rappilock axles that I covered yesterday, I saw them on Instagram a couple of weeks back. It was one of those things where I thought, that looks cool. So my Giant, as you saw in that video, has those big things hanging off them all the time so you can screw the axle in and out. And on Von's bike is different. You need to carry one of these when you ride a bike. Now we carry tyre levers anyway, so it's not too much of a hassle. But the quick release person in me says, I always want the ability to remove my wheel under my own seam without an extra tool. So when I saw those little things slide out, and I'm like, I've got to get some of those. So I reached out to them. And I reached out to the actual manufacturer, and they said, no, here's our retail side of things. And here's the links and things, so got a hold of those. I think they're cool. Not for everyone. Strength-wise, I think they'll be fine. Because the through axle, there's not a lot of... It's just crossway strength and pressure on the... Yeah. We'll see. They make them for mountain bikes. They were snapping on mountain bikes, so it's definitely snap on road. We'll see how they go. I think they look neat. Alright, next erg session. Let's get it done. Okay, McLaren's owned by the same guys from Bahrain. It's just a naming thing. Yep, makes sense. Yeah. Erg mode looking unstable. Yeah, the data's not that smoothed. But it's not jumping around a hell of a lot. So. TDF going to go the distance? I don't think so. Wisconsin, how are we? So power reporting is all over the shop because Zwift doesn't do 3-second smoothing in erg. But on the pedals, I'm not having to fight above and below. So that's all good. Thomas, you missed nothing, mate. Barney, I'm good. I can't give you sign language for that though. But we are good, Barney. I can't sign language New Zealander. I get kicked off YouTube. It'd be really bad. Thank you. Someone put hashtag sheep joke for Barney. Three minutes. Sheepy, sheepy. I think I knocked the last one down. I don't need 300 watts at 9 o'clock at night. How far have I gone? 25k. Ooh. 2 minutes. Outdoors ride tomorrow. The sun's out. Pretty quiet out here on the jungle circuit. How many years Zwifting? All the years. I think it was April 2015, I think I jumped on. Taking the sterzo apart, it went very carefully. You gotta be careful with those things. There's a spring that wants to pop. I was riding indoors before it was cool. Some might say it's still not cool. Lethal, that depends what you're comparing to. If you're comparing an accurate power meter to an inaccurate power meter, there's no comparison. You need, all you need to do is just verify which one is accurate. Come on. Coronavirus will win the tour. Boom. There we go. Oh, that's more erg than I need in a day. That's going to be better. It's funny how it changes the wattage on the intervals I've already cleared. So if you're tuning in now, you're like, he only cleared 270. It's a bit unfortunate. Slow burn workout, good stuff. Bruh, yeah, Lee, I know, I gotta turn it down. This is session 2 for the day. We're nearing 9 o'clock at night. Are they testing all riders daily? I assume so. I'm assuming they probably have to. Oh, cooked. Cooked. Strava estimations, yeah, no. The Zumo that I had, I think that tested really well. I think that was the one that surprised me. It tested surprisingly well for the price. It's one of the budget trainers. I think it even passed the high flywheel speed test, or it performed a lot better than some of the higher trainers. Not that anyone does the high flywheel speed test as normal training, but it's just an indication of, is the thing going to... Now, T-bags, I'm going to do it. It's going to be 5 minus a few percent. Not -1. We'll get it done. We'll do the 5 to 270. Not feeling it though, that last one got me. Oh, the upbeat tunes are carrying me through. So Larry Warbassy his AG2R tested positive and now it's tested negative twice straight after. So, who knows what the tour is going to bring? Who knows? Though the tour is going to be on my birthday, so I'm stoked with that. The tour is never on my birthday. My birthday, as long as it keeps going for a week and a couple of days. That's cool. Change the drops to real money, did I think? No. You start involving real money, that brings in a whole other load of problems. Like me dropping my water bottle. Shit. Don't worry. I got it back up. Nah, no real money. You think people get angry and negative towards the platform? Now you make that real money free. Subscription rise. No, it's more about the fraud. Which isn't absent even in its current state. So, no, not for that. Not for that. I mean, this is what we're seeing as a training platform. Whether people call it a training platform or respect it as a training platform is another thing, but it's kind of what it is. Remember, they still call them indoor trainers. Those smart bikes are still called bikes, aren't they? Do I own every bike in Zwift? I think so. So you'll never catch me on one of those Ventum monstrosities. Nothing against Ventum, but everything against... There. No, I think I've cleared out most of the drop shop, but the bikes just don't matter, really. If you've got the Tron, you've got one of the faster roadies, that's what you need. The cost the trainer puts back into the grid. Humans are horrible meat motor batteries. There's no free lunch. Whatever energy you can put back into the grid, you probably have to eat that 4 times in food of value to then power that. Energy is never... what's the physics? Someone's got to be better at physics than I am, but energy is never created or destroyed, it's only transferred. So if you're putting energy back into the grid, it's coming from somewhere. Usually that's lunch or dinner. But yeah, humans are very inefficient. They pay worse than YouTube. Here we go, 270. The white flag is half raised. We're not doing another 300. Conservation of energy, that's the one, isn't it? Was I right though? It's not created or destroyed, just transferred. That's the line? Which means my lunch is going towards heating this room at the moment. It's pretty weird. Inefficiency sucks. Oh yeah. That's why my trainer gets hot. That's all my chocolate that I ate, isn't it? Comparing a kicker to a left-only crank, Roy, you're going to get close, But unless you know your true 50-50 all the time on the pedals, it could be leading you astray. That could be that if it was only accurate at low power and sprinting, it could mean that you were only truly balanced during those tests. Single-sided can be hard. Hmm. 270 is better. New UI for Zwift. Look, I think the committee have latched on to the catchphrase UI for Zwift, and they want a new user interface. 12 months ago, no one was talking about it. It's a bit clunky, sure. But I'm in the user interface, the screens, for probably 10 seconds, and then I'm in the game. What I want to see is a HUD redesign. So I think it's a little misleading that people want a UI redesign. It needs it, sure. But how is that going to change the experience? Just the user interface. What you want is the user experience, the UX change, so people don't have to exit the game to change course or jump into the game to join an event. That wouldn't be technically a user interface. So, yeah, okay, so if everyone's talking about the whole UI, UX, everything as a whole, sure. But it's going to be one of those things where I think it's people scream for months that they want it. I've given up. I'll take whatever comes. In that, I mean, there's only so much that you can suggest or advise or jump on your own soapbox about. And if you can't influence change, get the hell off that soapbox and go do something else. I'm a little off that soapbox. I'm 42, I'm wasting my time trying to tell people how to do their job. So whatever comes, comes. But I think it's going to be one of these things where if it rolls out and it's a new user interface, people will just latch on to the next thing. Hey, Toucan. I think the last few months, the internet's ramped up to be complaints. I'm a champion at complaining. I try and keep it at a minimum though. And try and keep it where the energy can be focused and have positive influence. I said a while back that I had a list of 100 things I'd like to see optimized on Zwift. I didn't bother publishing. If they wanted it, they would have asked me, and no one has. So it is what it is. So there we are. 5-hour workout. Popped out a bit there at the end. 9:16 at night. Number 2 for the day. But that was the KickrBIKE. So that, you get no issues there. Erg. Doesn't look that stable. It wasn't really throwing me around like a bucking bronco that some trainers do. If they can't hold the right zone, you'll get really fatigued at a level you can usually ride steady state at. That's fine. Sweet spot training. No. Training is what it is. It depends what you're after. Club Jarvis. No idea. I've not seen anything pop up for Club Jarvis. Though I have seen another club pop up on Zwift, so it appears to be slowly rolling out. We haven't seen any official word of that though, but there are some posts and some community posts going around saying that there's a club or so being spun up. I'm championing for a Gplama club on Zwift. I don't think I'll get it, but here's my theory. And let me know in chat if you support this theory, because I'll go hard on it if that is the case. So I think they're going to be rolling out club Javas and clubs on Zwift. So clubs to be able to schedule your own events, and people can join the club or get invited, and then the club administrator can run their own events, proper events. Maybe workouts, maybe schedule things. And I think it's going to be rolled out to the existing clubs or groups that have been on Zwift for years and years and years. But my theory is, what about a greenfields scenario, such as me here? People want to do these badge rides. People want to do meetups. People want to join the live streams. I'm all for that. I want to do those. But I haven't got an established club. And I think that's where it could be really showcased. And as a really good test case, because doing more testing before rolling something out in a larger scale, I think would be welcomed. So let me know, would you join Club LAMA? You can join multiple clubs on Zwift. So would people join the Gplama club? Yeah. And then I'd spin up these streams as events. Time zones permitting. I've got the time, we're in lockdown. This is perfect. Stage 3 lockdown, I'm not going to visiting family anytime soon. So yeah, cool, awesome. Well, we have the support. Thanks, chat crew. I've pitched the idea. We'll see how we go. I totally get it if I get denied and it's only for people who have been on Zwift running events and running rides. And all. Totally cool. But all you're doing is just giving something to something that people have already got. They've got their clubs, they've got their events, they've got... I've never had a Gplama ride on the calendar. What happens in the greenfield situation? Could I bring people in? 129,000 subs. I think I might have the support there. And I did say in my pitch to whoever I emailed, I said, look, I'm happy to get 129,000 people to raise a support ticket, if you like, if it needs that. So, vote LAMA 2020. I'm going to be the president of the club. November 3rd. Vote. But yeah, that's what I'll do. So I've got most of the badges. Don't care. We can put up a poll. And we can say this week, here are your choices. We're going to do this badge ride. I might even do the badge ride 3 times. I'm just spewing some ideas here. 3 times in a week I'll do London Classic, or let's say we do PRL half. I'll be doing that, and I can do it my time. We're upside down here. We're down under. So I could do it starting at 6 a.m. one day. I could do it starting at 6 p.m. 2 days later. And I could do it at 12 p.m. another time to get people who haven't got that badge. Even though I might have the badge, happy to do a group ride. I reckon that'd be cool. We could live stream it. We could have everybody tick these badges off. But that should allow people to join the event proper at their own will. It'll just pop up on... So actually, look, let's go here. Let's do this. Clubs. There we go. What we want is Club LAMAs. Well, Gplama. Can you send now to Zwift? No, I'll give the go-ahead when we can... we'll tweet at Zwift if we need to. If I get the no, don't worry, I'll start... make Team LAMA great again. I'll make hats and stuff. They won't be red. TT specific rides? Stefan, you're on the money. Absolutely we can do some TTs. We'll have TT week. Yeah. What power would the ride be at, Stefano? Power would be at your power. Whatever you want, mate. We could do workouts, we could do... And that'd be cool. This is what I've been thinking of for months since... Are we on phone view? We are. So Club Java's here. So imagine if that was... Club LAMA. And again, you can join multiple clubs, so it's not going to be an exclusivity thing. Club events. That way we can get into some regular rides, regular badge quests. And I love that. Love to be able to help people tick off those badges. I've got 8 to go. They're all the long ones. Maybe we build up to the long ones. But you'd have club events there, and it would be like... I mean, there won't be a hell of a lot. Let's say 3 a week, maybe? Just spitballing ideas. Reverse badges, there we go. We can even pitch that idea. We're done with the badges. What do we want? We want to go backwards. Yeah, reverse PRL full. Thanks, Phil, mate. You're on the front of the bunch for that one. Although the ones that start on the top are Alpe d'Huez. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, get the rebel routes turned into badges. So we'd have, let's just say we have Club LAMA, we have the event scheduled there. Whatever time, Saturday morning. Long bunch rides, yeah, for sure. Would 50 Cent be in the club? 50 Cent would be in the club. Anyway, that's my idea, so we'll see if that comes of anything. I reckon that'll work. We'll see. But again, it's out of my hands. I'll just campaign it. We'll call it Future Works. We won't call it a beta. Jungle loop again. Actually, let's get out of here. We're done with the workout. Let's get out of the jungle. We'll go up the hill, down the hill, get some extra Ks, and we'll call it a day on the bridge. Then we need a LAMA jersey. Oh, Jesper, calm down, calm down. We can't be too enterprising. I'm just a one-man band. Help Simon get the Tron Bike Club. Oh, members, not Simon. Ballarat shorts, there we go. Need some Ballarat shorts in game. We're out of workout mode, get that graph off. There we go. And back to main screen. Teams inside clubs, there we go. No, but there's movement at that station anyway, so we'll see what comes of that. I don't think it can fail. What time? 9:25 PM. Something like that. Let's say the Gplama club spins up. Hey, some runners. Hey, dudes. If I was on holidays for 2 weeks, it doesn't matter. You know, there just wouldn't be any events on the calendar. That's cool. They just won't show up. If we're in lockdown for an extended period, we can schedule more events. That'd be cool. We need Di2 bikes in the game. No, we need Di2 integration with the game. We'll be able to see what gear we're in, and most importantly, our Di2 battery level. So when we take our bike off the trainer, we know we can switch gears outside without going flat. But the price will go up according with clubs and teams. No, I don't think so. I wouldn't foresee a price rise in the next 12 months. Maybe not even next 18 months. I don't think there's any justification. And yeah, YouTube and Twitch rides with the club. Yeah, for sure. I'd stream them. Other people can stream them too. Hopefully I'm still with you. My Stream Deck just rebooted. Hopefully nothing else. Yeah, sound, did that go? Yeah, we're back. Yeah, my USB hub just balked and back. Thank you. Yeah. Cool. That's a first. Whew. Yeah, no, my USB hub just barked. It's the Stream Deck I have for switching these. Then I disappeared. This is the one when things are really bad. This is the screen I go to. Yeah, no, that's my sound. I can see the voice screwing out on it. That's interesting. I'm going to have to debug that one. I'm overpowering the USB. It's not my power that I'm putting into the trainer. Yeah, voice gone. Yeah, I'm across it. Yeah, the little USB hub I have in front of me is rebooting. Jealous of how quiet the trainer is. That is RTX voice doing the filtering. I have two fans going and RTX voice on. So just to screw with the voice as I'm cooling down here even more, I can switch RTX voice off Does that sound a little worse? Yeah, there we go, it's bouncing up quite a bit. Windy! That's not too bad, the fans are only on medium. That should be better though, that should be RTX voice on. That's a Samson, S-A-M-S-O-N, Samson Go mic. It is a tiny little USB condenser mic. It's literally this big. It's tiny. Over the top of this little crest and then down the other side. That'll get us to about 38k. Charles, I'm good, mate. Thank you for asking. Just finishing off this little session here. We did 5x5 in erg. 5 minutes on, about 5 minutes off on the KickrBIKE. The whine of the bike, yeah. KickrBIKE has a bit of a sound to it. I can still hold a conversation with it, but it's not silent. And we're back. Yeah, I can see that jumping up and down. Shh. I'll have to power that USB hub. It's dropping. I can see when it drops out. I'll try not to talk. Alright, down here we go. Off that peak, sorry. Any thoughts on the tour? No. Hopefully we see it through to Paris, but I don't think we will. There's just too much going on. Oh, so I guess at the end of the ride here with my gravel bar upgrade, which I'll cover tomorrow if I get a chance. Yeah, those gravel bars work fine. I haven't sprinted obviously in them, but nice and comfy. The handlebar tape's much better since I've replaced that. Downhill drive. There we go. Whew. Favorite world? Watopia. It's got everything. Well, I know it well enough to be able to ride to anywhere that I need to. Like the flat section or the rolling hills that are Titans Grove, or longer climbs between there's a 2-minute climb, there's a 4-minute climb. In the back of that one, it's just easy to navigate around. I'd love to see them do some little gravel tracks though, where we can backtrack and maybe up the top of Alp de Zwift and down the back somewhere. That'd be kind of cool. Neo's downhill drive, does it affect accuracy? I can see the voice. Yeah, sorry, that's going to keep cutting in and out until I throw a rock at it when I'm done here. The downhill drive, it's hard to test accuracy on that because as soon as you start a high wheel, a high cadence, high RPM, high flywheel speed on the Neo, the power goes a bit screwy anyway. In theory, it would make it... accuracy shouldn't affect the accuracy of it measuring power. Don't know. It'd be minimal, I think. Alright, we'll call it a day here and I'll go get my USB sorted out. Funny though, I've streamed for hours and hours and hours. Only now it started to reboot itself. I'll do a reconnect of everything. Oh, by the way, for anybody playing at home, eTube for Windows, for the Di2 programming, does work on VirtualBox. So I've been able to get eTube up and running on my Mac using VirtualBox and a Windows 10 virtual machine. You need to connect the USB and also a COM port because it uses a virtual COM port. Let's go, Miller. Miller's cooked. Wave. 9:33 p.m. But I've picked up another battery that I can do multi-shift with the other bike. Oh, sorry, synchro with the other bike. And I've got some new levers already. So we'll plug those in with the PC kit on the Mac and make sure they're all updated. Something that sucks with the Shimano eTube stuff, the programming, is yeah, it's Windows only. It's technically it's still Windows, but I've got it working in a virtual machine. VirtualBox is free, and it works with the trial version or the 30-day demo version or whatever of Windows 10. So if you only need to jump on once and get it done to get all the firmware updated, or just check it, that's all you need the Windows box for. You can do it without having to enter a serial number in. It's sort of a once-use thing, I guess. That's pretty cool. I'll have to contact DI2 Center, or it's now called bettershifting.com. They do some good community work with DI2 and hints and tips and things. 30. Let's go through to 40Ks, as long as my USB holds up. New Wahoo climb, Rob? No word on a new climb at all that I know of. Best mid-level trainer for people new to indoor cycling, Kicker Core. Yeah, John, you can't go too wrong with Kicker Core. Depending on your budget and what's available where you are, the Suto, Core, hesitant to say the Flux. $1.2K. Let's get it done. Come on, USB, you can do it. USB's a bit like me today. It just starts dropping a bit low at the end in erg. Alrighty. Any questions, fire away. Any comments? Feel free, I'm in chat. That's where I'm hanging out. Get the last K done. Coming up, I'll put a video out on what I've done to this KickrBIKE just to customize the front end. Much better with the thicker bar tape and the grippier bar tape. Gravel bars, they're a bit of fun. They look pretty cool. And the it seems to have turned out pretty well. So that's coming up. What else have I got? Might loop back to the Neo 2T. Been doing a bit of testing on that lately. Numbers are good, so probably time to go back and just revisit the Neo 2T. I don't think we'll be seeing any new trainers from Tax this year. There's just no indication of that. So the 2T still, I mean, again, the Neo was well ahead of its time in its design years ago. The smart desk, yes, thank you for reminding me. I will remove that from in the front of Von's setup. My wife has taken a bit of that, the one with all the drink bottle holders and all that. Yep, cool, on it, smart desk video, thank you. I'll nail that one down. I don't even know what day it is today. Is it Friday? It's Thursday. I seriously am lost. It's all Sunday. It's always Sunday. Watched your video today. Chris Miller on the sold on the Asiyama Duos. Hey, Asiyamas just work. What software do I use for streaming? OBS Studio. So I've covered that in a quick video. It's Friday. It is too. Like seriously, that's how. Yeah, welcome to lockdown. It's all the same day. Saturday. Okay, so it's the weekend coming up. Cool. 39.9. KickrBIKE and Stages bike. I'd merge the two. And the KickrBIKE is within reach. I'd merge the two. And I kind of have merged the two by putting the... It's not bin night. Thank you. That's Sunday night. I've merged the two by putting the gravel bike bars on the KickrBIKE. For levers, though, for like changing gears and levers and the feedback, KickrBIKE, hands down, the Kicker has won that battle of all the smart bikes. That's the Atom, the Stages bike, the Neo bike. Those 4 smart bikes. Levers on the Kicker, the Di2 style, they just work. I can get off my bike outdoors, come indoors, it feels the same. I look down here, it looks the same. They're a bit bigger with the buttons on top though, but it hands down wins there. Ride feel fine. You saw the erg mode, that was fine. I got through those. That was me failing the last one and having to dip that down a little bit. Yeah, much for much. Just the feel of the Stages bike's pretty good though. It kicks over its massive cheese wheel at the front there. Heavy as all hell. Tips in getting into racing on Zwift, just race. Just race. You can't fail a Zwift race. It doesn't matter. You don't have to pay your entry fee. If you're on Zwift, you've already got an entry to all the races. Jump on, find out races that work for you, hilly races, short races, TTs, you name it. Europeans don't know bin night. Oh, missing out. Bin night's the best. It's the only day of the week we get dressed up because we get to go outside. All right, 41 Ks. Let's do that. The Zwift effect. Okay, and racing on Zwift, it's never the same as racing outdoors. It is very, very different. Racing on Zwift, you can't coast. You can't get off the gas. Racing on Zwift is pretty much like a time trial. It's like an aggressive time trial. You're always on. Outdoors, you can grab a wheel. You can coast down a hill. You can actually get in a breakaway and make it work outdoors. It's very different, but the training it offers you is, yeah, which is what it's built for. Look at you nice and sharp for that kind of racing. But again, just jump in a bunch and have fun. If you get dropped, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Good session though. Thanks everyone for coming along. Makes my time go a lot quicker. I can talk about this stuff non-stop. And it's the questions that come through that always keep me sharp. Or a bit foggy. Either way, depending on the heart rate. But it's always a good indication of what people are, what topics are on the cook. And that keeps me honest with what videos I've got to do, so that the smart desk. I've had the parts for weeks. I just haven't got around to it. I keep getting cool things sent to me. Those are arriving in the mail. Those through axles with a little tool that's inbuilt. How cool were they? They were awesome. Thoughts from Javon about Zwift and the Chris minute? No, there isn't. Okay, I'll go check it out. I haven't seen it. Zwiftcast. Yeah, Simon took August off. So I'm keen on getting back into the Zwiftcast. Lots happening. Lots of rib digging to give Simon about not getting the Tron bike. Unless Simon took the month off to get the Tron bike. We don't know. We'll have to find out. It's a good theme. I hope he never gets the Tron bike because we have to come up with another theme to talk about. Minder V. I'm just finishing up, mate. You just missed out. But catch me next time. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be back. It's the weekend. I've got more rides to do for sure. Tomorrow's going to be outdoors. So keep an eye on my Strava. I'll take some photos outdoors. The sun's going to be out, so sheep patrol. And stop on that. Stop on that. Hour 36 of data, 41 Ks, session 2 for the day. That's been great. Thanks everyone for coming along to my gravel grind ride on a Friday. We'll make it a regular thing. If we can get Club Gplama up and running. Hint, hint to Zwift. We'll see if we can get that happening. If we can, everyone can join. And I'll do it multiple times during the week. We'll go some badge rides. We'll just have a bit of fun. We'll stream it. And we'll enjoy our time indoors. Okay, everyone. Thanks for coming. Remember to hit subscribe. I've got to say that. I'm a YouTuber. And, new threshold update. Thanks, Garmin. And remember to update your Garmins. And your edge units, there's a couple of updates. Your element units. There's an update out from Wahoo this week that fixes some Di2 bugs things as well. Not worth covering in a whole new video though, because it's only a one-liner changelog. If only Wahoo did massive changelogs, I'd be all over it. But I'll cover what's new for those guys when they bring out new feature sets. Anyhow, I could always ramble on and on and on about this. I better let you go. I won't take up too much of your day. Have a great weekend. I'll be back during the weekend at some time. So stick around, turn your notifications on, and jump on your bike. And we'll go for another ride. Thanks for coming. All right, I'll see you soon.